My name is Shad Bogany. I am with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. And I have in the studio with me tonight is Miss Marla. She's with Entourage Real Estate, and she's going to be co-hosting with me tonight. And we're going to be just talking in general, going over some topics, things that I know if you're thinking about buying or selling, you're thinking about these items, and we're going to try to cover these tonight. The numbers here are 281-837-2222. My name is Shad Bogany, and you're listening to the Real Estate Corner. So if you're stuck in traffic, because it looked pretty bad coming in, and I think a lot of it is because of those cutoffs at those points on 45 and 59 and going 45 south. You can't get off of 610, so it was pretty horrible coming in. So if you're stuck in traffic, you're listening to KWWJ 1360 AM, or you can also listen to us on 96.9 FM. I want to also thank the listeners who are letting us into your living room on Saturday morning for the Real Estate Corner on 15.10 Iconic TV and Roku. Roku, did I pronounce that right?
Roku.
Yeah, I got it right. Okay, Roku. We're talking about that. You can catch us there also. The numbers here again, 281-837-2222. I also wanted to show you my American Lifestyle magazine. If you want me to send you one of these, you can get it by just simply emailing me at shad, S-H-A-D, at BOGANY.com. It's a great magazine, I have to say myself. It's a Happy Thanksgiving magazine. So if you'd like one, we will mail one out to you. Let me give you that email again. I have the easiest email that you'll ever remember, and that's shad@bogany.com. Also sitting with me tonight, we've got Marla. Marla, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Marla's going to be our guest host with us tonight. She's going to sit in with us. Where can they listen to you, Marla? Why don't you give where you're...
You know what, Shad? They can listen to me in two different places. I have a show called Mondays with Marla that is on 11:10 a.m. It's a radio station, 11:10 a.m. It's a business talk. That's Mondays with Marla from 3 to 4 p.m. every Monday. I also am on a podcast called RDC, Red Door Conversations, Real Talk and Realty. And you can go on there as well, and you can listen to us on YouTube or wherever you like. But I'm Marla Lewis, and I am happy to be here.
Right.
I went through that traffic you were talking about to get here, Shad. I thought I was going to be late. Oh, my gosh. It's crazy.
It's terrible. I was out on the weekend, it was bad. So if it was bad on the weekend, I know how it is right now. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. All our lines are open. We're going to be talking real estate. So let me tell you how you can listen to this show if you're first time listening. You can catch us at 96.9 FM. You can catch us Saturday morning on Iconic TV from 15.10 digital TV. And I know you guys are watching because I'm getting the phone calls. And you can also listen to us on kwwj.org. It's a blinking radio tower, streaming audio, so you can listen to me anywhere in the world on that channel. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. So me and Marla tonight are gonna do, two realtors talking. We're sitting here having coffee or having a glass of wine, and we're talking. I mean, we probably need to bring some wine here. I am going to be in San Francisco starting tomorrow. I go to San Francisco for the Realtor Conference. There's a lot of things on the plate there. I happen to be chairman of the advisory board for emerging technology and MLS issues. And so we've got a big issue, and I'm going to be talking with Marla. It's all over the country. I've gotten a call from the Chronicle today. I've gotten calls from Austin, Baltimore. I've gotten lots of calls in regards to this issue that we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to be talking with Marla. So, and I'd like your take on it. So before we get going, let me get right into our real estate notes section. Guys, it's not 7 o'clock yet. You need to be voting. If you're not voting, and I'm going to share with you, local elections are more important than national elections, because locally that affects you right then and there. And so I want to share with you, get out and vote, get in that line. If it's not a line, go and vote. Determine who your mayor is going to be. be. Determine who your city council people are going to be. I will share with you on my end. I know I've given Mayor Turner a hard time on this show, and deservingly. But if I had a vote in the city of Houston, I would be voting for Mayor Turner because of the choices that you have. He is the best choice, and he's been, 4 years, he's gotten things done, but there are plenty of things still to be done, and let's let him give him an opportunity to complete his mission. Let's give him an opportunity to put those communities in place. Let's get him to fix the down payment assistance, make it better. Let's remember, he doesn't have a lot of control over the Harvey dollars because that's coming from the state and the general land office. If you're going to complain about it, you probably need to send those complaints to the general land office, which is being run by Mr. Bush up there. So in the general land office, I'm giving you some real deals, things you're not going to hear anywhere else. So if I had a vote, it would be for Mayor Turner, Sylvester Turner. I think he deserves another opportunity to lead this city and get things done. Also, I would probably say the city council people that are incumbents, I'm probably all for all of them except Mr. Travis, who has not been a affordable housing person. That he's not been someone who's been open to affordable housing, even though he says in the Chronicle today, he's got poor people in his district, but he's got well-off people in his district. But he's not doing anything for those people that are not as well-off, in my opinions. But so anyway, these are the people I would support, and if I had a vote in the city of Houston. Right along with that, I'm going to tell you why this is so important. Was talking to a good friend of mine, and my daughter was telling me about this company that has moved here from Japan. They're air conditioned. They make trains and Armstrong. They make all these different air conditioning, and they're a huge, huge employer. I was going up to Bryan College Station one day, and I saw this huge plant, Marla. It was like it was baseball fields big. All over, and I immediately pulled over to the side, emailed I Googled the name, and they're an air conditioning company. Well, and so one of the issues they're having is that they're bringing employees in, but employees are having to drive driving out, taking an hour to 2 hours to get to work.
Oh, wow.
Because there's no affordable housing in that general area where the plant is. And so one of the things that one of the owners of this manufacturing plant said that the governor had promised that if you come to Texas, I'm going to help you out.
Right.
And so, and they were a little not so happy that they hadn't gotten any affordable housing in the area. So the people who work there could stay closer to work. That means they come to work on time.
Right.
That means that if they're carpooling, if somebody can't go, everybody else doesn't come to work. So anyway, as I reached out to a friend of mine who's in the lending business and said, hey, there may be some opportunities in these Northwest counties available. And so she reached out to a friend of hers who's a politician in that area, and she asked him, well, what are we going to do about affordable housing in these areas? Well, he told her that if he supported affordable housing, he would lose his conservative vote.
Wow.
And I just blew me away. And I'm not going to tell you guys who that person is. Because it was said in confidence to them. And so, but this is the sort of stuff that you would not know because they would never publicly say this. And I know this is true because I had another state rep who I really like. And I think he does a good job, especially when it comes to housing issues. He's in the Republican Party. He made the same comment to me that he has a hard time supporting affordable housing because his constituents don't want it in their area or in his district. And they have issues with it. So when I tell you here on this show that affordable housing is under attack, and it is being under attack. And there's some underlines there because I can't tell you what the underlines are. I can't say on the radio because I have no proof that it is. But who's normally buying affordable housing? and I'll leave it at that. So this is the sort of thing that politicians, and I don't really understand why, as a politician, we don't ever stand up for what's right, what's wrong. We tend to go with the herd, so to speak, the mob. We tend to let the vocal minority rule everything.
Well, Shad, what I don't understand about, the situation that you just gave is that, one, these are working people.
Right.
So when we have a major problem when working people cannot afford to live where they work.
Exactly. And that's an issue that if you ask most business people, they will tell you they would prefer their employees to live as close to the job because they
Absolutely.
don't miss work
Yes.
when they live close to the job. And so, but I thought it was quite interesting. I wanted to bring it up. Marla, I appreciate your opinion on it because it just kind of blows me away. And I mentioned City Councilman Travis, but he is a conservative person. Okay, he's in conservative politics. So, and he says that he has both, but he seems only representing one side of his constituents. So, one of the things that I'm going to share with you, and this is my personal opinion, that if I'm a developer and I'm putting up tax credit apartments so working force housing can be done, I would put a precinct, a voting booth in every one of those. So those are the people. That's why I'm telling you guys that local elections are really, really important to you as you move forward. So don't be a voteless people or a hopeless people, because when you're voteless, you're hopeless. You are not controlling your destiny. You're letting somebody else determine what's going to happen there. Okay, we've got Marla here. This is Shad. We're here talking on the Real Estate Corner. I thought I'd have her come in as a guest host. I know you guys get tired of hearing me, so I thought we'd bring somebody else. I will be in San Francisco next week, this week, and a little part of next week, talking about housing issues, talking about affordable housing, what's going on in our industry. One of the things I wanted to share with you tonight was just that, and I got this, and this was an issue here. It wasn't an issue, but something I thought was quite interesting. The top states that have bachelor degrees in the black demographics. Maryland, state of Maryland, top states, 30%. Massachusetts, 29. Colorado, 28. Washington State, 26. California, 26. Oregon, 26. New Jersey, 25%. Texas is down at 25%. Arizona is at 25%. New York is at 24%. Georgia is at 24%. Virginia is at 24%. These are the states that have the highest black population with bachelor degrees. Now, some states that might have surprised you that was at the bottom, and I'm going to run those off. Ohio, 17%. Michigan, 17%. Alabama, 17%. Iowa at 17%. I didn't know any black people in Iowa, but Iowa. And then you got Kentucky at 17%, Nevada at 16.8%, Mississippi at 16%, South Carolina at 15%, Louisiana at 15%, Arkansas at 15%, West Virginia at 14%. Didn't know you got Milwaukee. And Wisconsin was at the bottom with 14%. So these are the states that if you have a higher education, and I'm willing to bet in all the bottom states that the home ownership record for black people or home ownership information for them is probably, Marla, I would probably say at 40, 41, 42% on all these states.
Yes.
If you went to the top states, on the bottom, I would probably say home ownership is probably at the bottom there too. But if you went to the top states, I would say it's probably about the same. It doesn't surprise me that Maryland has a high degrees for African Americans there at age 25 and older, simply because the federal government is in D.C.
Right.
And people who are interested in that type of public life, they move there. So that doesn't surprise me. What's your take on that?
My take on that is I was very surprised by some on the bottom. North Carolina being one of them. That's surprising. Louisiana, that's, I mean,
And you would
it's
think
disheartening, really.
with all the HBCUs in Louisiana,
Yes,
Alabama,
and
Mississippi, that there would be more, but they're not.
that's exactly what's going through my head. I'm surprised by those percentages. I mean, it's something that we need to be alarmed about.
Right,
Sure.
and I think we should. And guys, once again, we're going to leave the real estate notes and we're going to move into our show and get more into what's happening out there. But I just wanted to share with you, go vote. You've got time. Go vote. Go take care of your destiny. You can't make changes without voting. And I will tell you, I voted early vote. I always vote early because it's just, if the day comes up and I can't get to it with clients or customers, I try not to wait to the last minute.
But Shad, I want to say this because maybe, especially someone maybe voting for their first time, as long as you are in line at 7 o'clock, you're there.
Right.
So don't let the time deter you. Don't say, well, it's over at 7, so I'm not going to get there until 6:55. Please go.
And if you're not happy with HISD, the school district, you want to move out to the suburbs, vote because you got HISD trustees. Yeah, I think you got some judges that are being up for re-election. And so vote, guys. Just get out and vote. So let's get right into what we do, and that is real estate. Planning on buying your home, be sure to know your options. So what would be your first thing you would tell somebody who's listening to me and you, Marla, what their options would be if they're thinking about buying a home? What should they know?
Well, one, they should know how much home they can afford. That
Okay.
would be one of the first things, because you don't want to get your hopes up high and look at something that your budget can't afford, or some a lot of times sometimes you can afford it but you just don't want to. That's something that's important, as well as where you want to be. A lot of people in the Houston metropolitan area, we were talking about the traffic now. So many people want to live closer to where they worship, where they be church or wherever, where they work, things of that nature. Those things are very important to people right now. And you've got people that are wanting to be in those areas because, for those reasons. I think that's very important, because you have to, in order to get what your financial situation looks like. You mentioned earlier about the people that were driving an hour away from work. Just think about how much gas that is.
Right.
That's financial.
The existing home inventory of existing homes is really tight. It's been about 4%. When we look at the builders' inventory that's out there, it's somewhere up nationwide, somewhere around 5%. Builders are, when they tend to have existing inventory, you've got to make a decision on whether or not you're going to buy or sell. So what's your take on building from ground, or buying an existing home that's already up, or building one, and let's spend a little time on the new home side.
Okay.
What would you recommend?
I would definitely recommend what we call an inventory home, Shad. That's one that has been built. Whether the builder has, just made a plan and built it. One of the reasons is because you save so much more money doing it that way. Many times, a lot of the builders put a lot of the bells and whistles that you want in a home, and they're already in the home. They're already built into that price, but many times that price is reduced because it's ready to go and they're ready to get it off of the market. So anytime I have a client that is thinking of building versus getting one that's inventory, I definitely recommend inventory.
Get going with the inventory.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and normally, as Marla was saying, you get those upgrades for free.
Yes.
Because that's where the discounts are. Normally, they're not going to go below the base price, but they're going to play with the upgrades that are in there. And so, I was out this last week with a client, and we were showing homes on a weekend, and one of the things they asked me, how do you determine upgrades? And I tell them, anything that's in that home that's cute, that's an upgrade. If it's cute, if it has a barn sliding door that's an outdoor pocket door, it has a kitchen on the outside, and it has a big, beautiful tile and nice light fixture, anything that's cute,
Yes.
it's an upgrade.
Yes.
And so, what would be your take in regards to people having fear about mortgages, the mortgage process? You know, why should we fear the mortgage process? Because a lot of people don't buy because of the mortgage process.
Shad, do you know that's very interesting, because I have not even mentioned that to you. But I just talked to one of my agents today, and our discussion was around, what is it that people are afraid of? You have, my agent had someone to tell her, well, I'm just afraid. She doesn't even want to fill out the application because she's afraid. And I'm saying, afraid of what? What is there to be afraid of? One of three things can happen. You'll get a yes, you'll get a no, or you're going to get a reason why and where you can start in order to get that yes that you need. That yes could be 2 months out. It could be 6 months out. It could be a year out. But it's very important for you to go ahead and start the process.
So let me tell you what Freddie Mac suggests that we do, take the fear out of mortgage process. And so if you know, the fear of unknown, as Marla was just saying, is important. But if you know what it is, you can prepare for it. First of all, find out your current credit history and your credit score. And you get all three agencies. Start gathering all your documents, paycheck stubs. Get that information, get your tax returns. If you're looking for down payment assistance, they verify income based on your tax returns. The other thing is that if you're self-employed, and I say this every year in April, January, if you're self-employed, you can't write off all your income, because whatever you net, that is what's considered your income. So you make $100,000, but after expenses and net, you're down to 40. Yes, you pay less taxes, but you'll continue to rent. So it doesn't work there. Contact a professional like Marla and myself. Sit down and talk with somebody. I will tell you, a lot of these lenders, if you are down payment assistance available to you, they won't tell you about it, especially if they don't think you need it. They're not, because it's just another layer in the process. So why muddy the water? Well, if you're working with a professional, most professionals' job is to clear that mud out so you can see clear water as you walk through that lending process. So why would you give up down payment assistance? Why would you give up $30,000 grants or $20,000 grants? Why would you do that? If you're a veteran, would you believe, Marla, that most veterans don't use their VA loan? I think a lot of them are talked out of it when they go in, but if they use the VA loan, that's the best loan that you can have.
Absolutely.
Best loan that you can have, other than the U-Hop loan with Prosperity Bank. Hey, I just had to plug that in. Other than the U-Hop loan, the VA loan is the best loan that's out there. Talk to your lender about being pre-approved. Anything else that?
Yes, you know what I wanted to touch on, Shad? You talked about if you're self-employed and that you can't write off things. Here's the deal. This is what I want to say about that. When you have a professional that is preparing your taxes for you, when you have a mortgage professional that you've teamed up with, talk to them before you file your taxes. That's what I'm talking about being proactive, doing things early on so that you can get a game plan, even if the answer is no right now today. That does not mean it'll be no next year. Get a game plan in place and execute that game plan, and voila, you can get what you want to have.
I agree totally with Marla. It's called I call it a blueprint. So you want a blueprint of your information so you can know what you can do. And as she said, I've had customers and clients, and I'm sure you have, that came to me, wasn't ready, laid out the blueprint, laid out the game plan, they went and executed it, came back to me later, and we put them in a house. And so my goal is that don't be afraid of the mortgage. It is not Halloween. It is a smooth and easy process, but it's about the people that you put on your team to help you through this process. And so that's why it's so important to get the right people to work with to help you, the right lenders. I know when I sit down with my buyers and we're doing what I call a consultation, one size does not fit all. I can't send every buyer to the same lender because I've got to listen to them. I've got to know what their situation is. And it's about fitting people. I had a lender once tell me that she had an underwriter who had been going through a divorce. Everybody that she had that had been divorced, she sent to that same underwriter because they understood those letters.
Yes.
Hey, these are my issues. This is my problem. You know what I'm saying? So if, she made a point to send those buyers to that particular underwriter because she knew that underwriter could relate to the divorce.
Absolutely.
Nothing's written in stone. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. I've got Marla Lewis here with Entourage Real Estate. She's guest hosting with me tonight. Of course, I'm going to be in San Francisco talking real estate, coming up and visiting and talking about all sorts of things in regards to census, everything. I'm going to be up there, but I will tell you we've got a huge issue that could change the whole real estate industry here in Houston, Texas, across the country, and we'll be talking about that in San Francisco. So Marla, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about renting versus buying.
Okay.
And buying is not for everyone, but it should be for the majority of people. Let's talk a little bit about that. We're going to take a quick break, be right back with the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. Give us a call. The numbers again are 281-837-2222. I have Crystal Holmes here in the studio with us, producing the show for TV. I've got Jermaine Freeman back at the studio at KWWJ 1360. Guys, if you're on the west side of town and you are losing our signal because it always goes down, everybody goes down for daylight saving time. When we take that hour back, the numbers are 96.9 FM. You can listen to us there. You're listening to the original Real Estate Corner. We've been on the air 29 years, and we'll be right back with the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. This show is brought to you this week by American Title, Charlene Clancy, and my favorite loan, the UHOP loan, 100% financing, 600 credit score, no EMI. Nobody has a loan like that. And you can, for more information, just give us a call. We'll help you with it. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. We've got Otis on line one. Let's go ahead and go to Otis. Hi, Otis.
How you doing, Fred? This is the best, great program I've ever had for the longest, and I want to find out about a new home process.
The new home process. Well, let's start off. The first thing we need to do in the new home process is, first of all, is get you determine what your purchasing power is going to be, Otis. So once we determine that, then we turn around and find out, and after we sit down with you, we ask you where you want to live, because if you're a first-time home buyer, there may be some down payment assistance available to you. So we need to sit down and get that idea. Then we're going to talk a little bit about payments, what type of payments you want. And then we're going to, from there, after we get what type of payments you want, we're going to try to get you pre-approved. Now, a lot of the lenders, Otis, the builders want you to use their lender. I can tell you that's probably not the best thing all the time. I would say we put it on the table, and then we look at a lender that we work with, and then we compare, and then we make a good, intelligent decision from there. Marla?
You know what? I was going to say that, Shad. That's very good that you brought that up. You definitely want to, because sometimes the builder's lender can have, some good things. They'll tell you, oh, we'll give you $7,000 in incentives if you use our lender, $8,000. But you need to, one of the reasons that a person needs professionals like us is to be able to help them to put that side by side against another lender to show
compare.
whether it really is $7,000, as they say.
And Otis, Marla and myself, our job is to interpret the information and guide you through the process. We do it every day versus somebody who, you buy a house, maybe your first house, and may have not bought one in 30 years, and the process continues to change. So that's the first thing you would do. Also in that consultation, we're going to talk about your needs. Are schools important for you? Or, what are you looking for in a house? You need a living room, you need both formals, you need a game room, you need a media room, you need a man cave, you need a 2-car garage. We're going to talk about all of that because we know each builder. So we're not married to one builder. We're going to show you everything that meets your needs out there.
Okay, great.
And so I think the first thing you do is give us a call. My number is 713-667-1000. Give me a call. Let's sit down and talk. Doesn't cost you anything to conversate with us.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for listening to the program.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Or you too. Linda?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? You had a question for Marla and I?
Yeah, I was trying to find what is the length of time or the quickest a person can get into one of these homes. Does it take like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? I'm trying to find out how quick can you get in a home actually.
Okay.
Many times, if you're credit ready and you're ready to go, many times there are a lot of lenders out there that could get you closed anywhere from 30 to 45 days. Now, that's going to depend on, different situations amongst different people. But, yeah, 30 to 45 days.
So when you're talking about credit, okay, are you talking about the husband and the wife? What if one of them credit is good and the other one ain't?
Well, that'll depend on what type of loan product that you can use. For instance, with an FHA loan, you can do it in one of the spouse's names per se, but if the other spouse has debt, then some of their debt has to be counted in with the spouse that is applying for the loan. Whereas there are other loan products out there where conventional loan, you don't have that rule. It just depends, and it's going to be case by case basis.
And I agree with Marla Lewis all the way on this. You're going to determine the timeline. Because if you do everything the lender asks you to do in a quick manner, it's going to go probably in about 30 days. You asked about if one spouse has credit issues and the other one doesn't. I agree with Marla again on this. Right. We're on the same page here. I think one of the keys is who has the most income. So if the person with the income got the bad credit, you're in trouble. Now, if the person...
That's what it is in my case.
In that case, then what we need...
I get Social Security.
My
husband, he's not got the bad credit. I don't have bad credit.
Okay. So then what we need to do is work on helping him get his credit together so we can lead with his income. So that's going to be the question. What you think, Marla?
I agree. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, getting that credit together, because many times if you can get more income in order to be able to afford more, have more purchasing power, basically, you'll want to do that.
Oh, thanks.
All righty.
So what should I do now then?
Well, I think the first thing you need to do is give us a call. And let us take a look at you and put you with a lender. Let's look at what your credit looks like. A lot of times, caller, Linda, is that people tell us they have bad credit and they don't really know because they hadn't looked at it. So we need to put you with a lender that we trust and then let them pull everything. And then we come up with a plan a game plan, as Marla said earlier.
So who do I call?
Marla, what's your number? I will give you both numbers.
Okay, you can give me a call at 832-868-6091. That's 832-868-6091.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. I got 832. Where did I get this 8 from? Give it to me one more time.
832-868-6091.
Oh, okay, I got that. Okay, who's the other one?
And my number is
Her
713.
name is Marlon.
Marla Lewis. Her name is Marla Lewis. And
Okay.
my number is 713-667-1000. 713 713-667-1000. All righty?
713-67-1000.
713-667-1000.
Oh, 667. Okay.
All righty? Thank you, Linda.
So just give y'all a call tomorrow then, right?
Yes, ma'am. Please do. Give Marla a call. Please do.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much then.
Thank you. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. So, Marla, I was talking about the big deal in the real estate that has to do with multiple listing service as known to MLS. What's your take on coming soon or off-market listings?
Ooh, Shad, that's a big deal. Well, I have a couple of different things that I think. One, if you have a coming soon sign and it's coming soon, it really should be coming soon. You should not allow everyone should have the opportunity at the same time in order for it to really be coming soon. That coming soon sign does not mean that it's coming soon, but you know what? Shad is my friend. I'll let him take a look at it for his buyer. Those are some of the things that, some of the issues
that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on off-market listings?
Well, off-market listings, I think that when representing a seller, Shad, I mean, here's the deal. Your seller may say, I'd love for this listing to be an off-market listing or what we call a pocket listing. But at the same time, when I work for you as a professional, do we really want to keep it off of the market? How is it that people are looking for properties in 2019? We're looking at Zillow. We're looking at on HAR. We're looking, and so that way, are you really doing your seller the best service by keeping it off of the market? Because you bring more buyers by having it, online, where it's available to everyone.
Well, one of the policies that will be being considered in San Francisco is Clear Policy and Cooperation, MLS, which is 8.0. And what it has to deal with that, the moment you put a listing and you market it to the public, it should be in MLS. And coming soon, if you got a sign out, that means you're marketing to the public, and it should be in MLS so everybody. I tell sellers all the time, investors who call me, and I tell them this every time they call me, Shad, you got any off-market listings? You got anything that, hadn't put on the market? I'll make you a deal right now. We can get this deal done. And my standard line is, the seller has hired me to get the most money for their property. I am doing them a disservice if I don't put it out on the market and allow everybody to get an opportunity to purchase that property. I am doing them a disservice. And so my role is to get you the most for your property. And so when you as a seller determine that you are going to sell your property off market, you don't want to be bothered with having people come through, you just decided that you're going to take probably less money for your property. I also think there's an issue with off-market property is discrimination. You determine who's going to see that property. You determine. So if I don't want any Asian people looking at my house, I'm going to keep it off market and tell my little group, we're only dealing with Anglos on this property here. It never comes to the market. Now, some of you thinking, wow, that might not be totally true. Is that really happening? You don't know if it's really happening, because if they're just talking to people that look like them, people tend to share things that they don't share to people who don't look like them.
Right.
Example of when I gave in the beginning of the show that my conservative people would not, even though I support housing, I can't publicly support it because affordable housing, because the people who are conservative who vote for me are not for affordable housing. So it creates another issue there. So I have a problem with the off-market properties. I think that as a buyer's agent, I want to be able to show my buyer all the 8 properties that are out there in the marketplace. And I think when you do off-market, you're not able to get the highest and best price for your property. And so it's no different than you calling I Buy Ugly Houses, or you doing Open Door, or any of these companies that will allow you. So you're taking a discount for convenience.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're doing it for convenience. And so how do you discount your biggest asset
For convenience.
for convenience? And I know, and I don't know about you, Marla, but I've always been told patience is the essence of success.
Absolutely.
All right.
Now, Shad, here's something that I've heard where people will say, well, I want it off, kept off the market for privacy. That way I don't have to have photos. That way I don't have to have people coming through. But what people need to realize is that the people that are coming through are licensed by the Texas Real Estate Commission. These are not just people that are rummaging through your home, just because.
Right.
A diligent and a professional agent is going to make sure, and that's one of the reasons why we preach about being pre-qualified before you start shopping. So, the privacy thing, I don't even get that, because these are people that are qualified and ready to buy if they are working with an agent.
Well, and I would agree with you. We're on the same page on this. What my thoughts are is that there are situations at times, you're going through a divorce, you may be a celebrity, you may be something that you just don't want your house to be known. Well, there are waivers for that particular situation. So if you're in that situation, your agent can get a waiver for that. But the moment they market that property to the public, like on Zillow or any of these other types of sites out there, they need to put it in MLS. So what's the difference if they're marketing it on Zillow and you're a celebrity and you don't want anybody to know, but if they put it on any other website, it's out there for the public to see?
Right. Absolutely.
So what's the difference?
No difference.
So why would I want 40,000 agents trying to sell my property versus 200? I think I'm going to get a better deal at the 40. And everybody has made a big deal about the MLS. And I'm going to hold that thought. We're going to take a station ID break, and we're going to come back with Marla and Shad. We're here on the Real Estate Corner. She's giving us some insights, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. I hope you held that thought till we came back from the station ID break. But I just want to share with you guys, you're going to get your best price for your property when everybody knows about it. And the MLS system, I don't know any other system in business that competitors put your work together to get you the highest and best price for your property. We're competitors. Marla and I are competitors. But this goes to the point that there's enough business for everyone out there. So you don't have to sit there and herd it. You can sit there and talk about it. So our MLS system, the multiple listing service, is a good system. It works. you have competitors putting out trying to sell your property to help you get. So not only the agents you listed it with, there are agents out there that can help them sell it and get you the highest and best price for their property. I'm just sharing that with you. That's going to be a big issue. What's your, we talked about a little bit about this. What's your take on new homes versus resale homes?
Oh, Shad, I like the idea of a new home. And it's interesting that I even say that because where I live, there's not very much, new homes aren't plentiful. But I like the idea of a new home for several reasons. One, if you can get the inventory home like we talked about earlier, a lot of times you can get that instant equity.
Okay.
Right there, as soon as you purchase the home. I mean, you bought it from the builder, others around you. Another thing, as the neighborhood goes up, you get a chance to see that. You get a chance to enjoy that. But then on the flip side, with a resale home, many times you can get more square footage for your money.
For your money. You
Yes.
let somebody else take the depreciation in those upgrades.
Yes.
Let somebody else put that pool in.
Yes.
And you take advantage of it.
Yes, and
So
you love it.
You love it. So resale and new homes, I think it's a matter of lifestyle. I think it depends on what's most important. But I'm the type of person, I like to know what my neighbor, whether or not they take care of their yard, whether or not they cut their yard, whether or not they flying the Confederate flag across the street. I like to know what type of neighbors I've got before. So when you're buying a new home and you move into a new home subdivision, it's sort of like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
You just don't know what you got. They may have 15 kids next door, and I'm a senior, and I don't want people climbing over my fence throwing eggs and stuff like that. I don't want a trick or treat coming Halloween.
Yes, absolutely.
But when you do a resale home, when you're doing a resale home, you at least know what you've got. You do inspect a home. You do check it out. In a new home, I guess anything you find wrong in your inspection, the builder's going to fix it as long as it's in the building code. In a new home, you have choices.
Yeah.
So if you like dark cabinets, you got them.
Right.
And you can pick them. You like gray granite, you pick them. If you like your tile offset, you can pick it. If you like separate shower and tub, or you want to build and have a huge shower, which a lot of people are going to.
Yes, you can do that.
You can do that. You can pick your lots that you're going to do. If you want all brick, you can, a covered patio. Where on a resale, you really don't, you're buying somebody else's choices.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so it's interesting that certain neighborhoods, the resale is almost the same price as the new because of the schools. And so those are some things to talk about.
And that's absolutely true in the area which I live. People definitely are attracted to particular schools, and for that reason, they'll take a resale home versus a newer home. It really is about lifestyle. It really is about what works best for you and your family. And so really, to be honest, Shad, I mean, it's just preference.
Perfect.
Is what it boils down to, because you can get a good deal on a resale and you can get a good deal on a new build. It's just preference.
It's
now,
your
you may have to take into account on a resale that, well, I don't really want a tub. I want that huge shower. But, that's something that you can take into account, and you can get those things put in.
All right, that's Marla Lewis with Entourage Realtors. And my name is Shad Bogany. I'm with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. We're here talking real estate, and I decided to do something a little bit different tonight and have a co-host in here. And Marla has her own show. Where can they listen to your show, Marla?
They can listen to me on 1110 KTEK. That's an AM station. On Mondays, the name of the show is Mondays with Marla from 3 to 4 p.m. I'm also on a podcast. The name of the podcast is Red Door Conversations, Real Talk and Realty, and you can find us on YouTube.
Okay, we've got Marla Lewis here in the studio with us. You know, guys, if you're looking for a good title company, you need to call American Title. Charlene Clancy over there does a great job. Her number is 713-784-0006. If you're buying a for sale by owner, you need a title company. You're refinancing your house, you need a title company. If you are a realtor or you are a realtist and you need somebody who's going to take care of your deal, you need to give Charlene a call. 713-784-0006. Ron does a great job. Eric does a great job. Also speaks Spanish. Then you've got Charlene, who's the captain of the ship, making sure that the seas are very soft, very calm, and you're going straight. So you give her a call at 713-784-0006. And the reason I give American Title 5802 Val Verde, there's lots of American titles. The one that I use is at 5802 Val Verde, right off of Chimney Rock, over in the Galleria area. Have you ever used Charlene? Have you ever closed with Charlene at all?
Sounds like I need to.
Oh, okay. She does a great job, So numbers here again are 281-837-2222, 281-837-2222. So let me ask you this, Marla, what do you see with clients who are wanting one story versus two story?
You know what, Shad? Nowadays, one story is winning with that. You have a lot of the baby boomers that are coming out of the two stories that are wanting those. And I mean, you can get really nice one stories nowadays. I'm talking, the square footage, the layouts are very good. I think one of the reasons that people were really going into the two stories were so that they could get that game room or they could get that media room. But some of the one stories now, they have those things.
Well, I noticed that when you are young and got little ones,
yes,
you're okay with the master being up on a two-story because you want to be able to see everybody, make sure you can take care of everybody. But as those kids get older, you want that master down, and you want that privacy at that point in time.
Yes.
With those children. And I agree with you that the one story is very, very popular right now. We've got, I've had somebody from the Chronicle called me the other day and asked me about the Wall Street Journal report. And the Wall Street said the reason inventory is tight is that a lot of these boomers are deciding to remodel their houses and stay in them and not put them on the market. What's your take on that?
Well, we definitely have had a tight market for some time now. I mean, how much inventory do we have at this point?
We're right at about 4.1 months of inventory. And see, I don't see it that way. I see the reason the inventory is tight right now is because we got investors in the market. So all the entry-level homes, all that, anything under $200,000, they are buying themselves and renting them out because they're not getting any money on their money in CDs and their savings. So go invest in real estate. Real estate has doubled it, almost, I say double. In the last 30 years, they've doubled, but in the last 10 years, it's gone up 40%.
Yeah, it's causing an issue in our market for sure. In fact, on real estate that we own, investment property, we got a few offers, and we chose to go with a buyer, an owner-occupant buyer for that reason.
You made a conscious effort to do it.
I did.
Okay.
I really did.
That's probably your background. And tell us about the event that's coming up on November 9th. I know you're involved with that, and I'm going to let you talk about that, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about HOAs.
Okay, so listen up. Saturday, November 9th at the Power Center. You'll want to be there if you're interested in purchasing a home. You'll want to be there if you need a will or a trust, because a lot of people have wills but not trusts, Shad. You'll want to be in the house. We're having an event through the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and it is a veterans event, but all are welcome because we'll have all kinds of products. Lenders that you can talk to. We mentioned earlier that you want to start with finding out where you are. We'll have lenders you can talk to. We'll have realtors there that you can speak with, insurance people, because a lot of times people say, well, I want a home, but how much is insurance on a home? those types of things. You can get all of those questions answered at this event on November 9th at the Power Center. Come out. Doors will open from 9 until 3. We'll also have breakout sessions where we will be going over down payment assistance, because there's all kinds of down payment assistance that people need to know about that they can take advantage of. We'll also have a class strictly for veterans. We talked earlier about that, veterans being able to get a loan strictly for veterans. I mean, come out. That's all I can tell you. Come out. You have to see it for yourself. Also, there'll be giveaways on that day. We have a bunch of giveaways, and we'll be drawing names and that type of thing. Bring your whole family. Call everybody that you know, friends, family. Let them know we'll be at the Power Center November 9th from 9 until 3 p.m. Come out.
All right. Marla, tell them how to get in touch with you if they want to talk to you.
You can get in touch with me by sending me an email at marla@entouragerealtors.com, or you can always call me at 832-868-6091. Again, that's 832-868-6091.
All right. Marla, I want you to pull up. We were talking off break about the 7 signs that you got a bad agent. Because a lot of people don't know when they picked the wrong person. Or they bought they got that box of chocolates and they thought that they were getting some nuts in that nice round and they got marshmallows or something. So anyway, or mint, even worse. So we're going to have, Marla's going to go over those 7 signs of bad. What are those 7 signs?
Well, the first sign is an unethical or dishonest person. Unethical or dishonest.
They're telling you about a hookup.
Yes.
Okay, so you,
Thanks, Shad.
all right,
Yes.
it's a hookup. Okay,
Yes.
if they're trying to hook you up, they're gonna hook you. What's the next one?
They're unprofessional. You can't get a hold of them. They are, they're just straight up unprofessional.
When you call them, they don't return your phone calls. You can't talk to them during the day. And I love this on people's voicemail. I return phone calls between 5 and 6, and when you leave a message for me. So if I call you at 9 o'clock and really need 9 a.m. and I really need to talk to you, I know I'm not going to get a return phone call between 5 and 6. So professionalism is really, really important, guys. It really, really is.
No vulgar jokes, no showing up late, no profanity, those types of things,
Yeah.
The other thing is unwilling to cooperate. Many people don't know this, but a lot of times agents, if you have an agent that is, what's the word I want to use, Shad, where another agent looks and goes, oh no, not that guy, not him again.
Oh yeah, yeah. We all have those out there.
Yes.
That once I've done a deal with you and it went, when I see your name again, I pass. Because my role is to make it as smooth as possible. And it's fortunate that a lot of buyers, if the deal goes sour, they think it's my fault. And I had nothing to do with it. Because they put their trust in me, and I'm Sir Walter Raleigh, and I'm supposed to cover every mud hole, pothole that ever comes up. But some things I don't have control because it's the person that I'm dealing with on the other side.
Absolutely.
What's the next one?
Lazy, unorganized, and again, unresponsive.
Okay, because we're in a tight market. And if your agent doesn't respond to you, that house you thought you were going to get will be gone.
Yes.
And so you might want to make sure that you do that. Did we hit all 7 of them?
Nope,
All
that's
right.
just 4.
Okay, what's the next?
Inexperienced. But now I want to talk about inexperience though, Shad, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, we're out of time.
What?
Yeah, that's how fast it went. And Jermaine's screaming in my ear. We're past our time. Guys, if you want to know about those, I'm almost positive that Marla has that on her podcast. I'm almost positive that she does. Give us a call. You can reach me at 713-667-1000. I'm with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. We are the #1 company in the city. Marla, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call me at 832-868-6091. And thanks for having me, Shad.
Thank you for sitting in with me. In 29 years, I never had somebody just come in and just talk. Usually I'm doing all the interviewing, but I just thought, let them hear some other thoughts and make your decision based on knowing that everything is there. Fortunately, though, we agree on everything. So, see you next week on the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bargany. This has been Marla Lewis with Entourage, and I've been with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. We'll see you Saturday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. and then Sunday night at 8 p.m. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back with the Real Estate Corner next week. Thank you.